The vanishing of Grace Holloway. Willow Creek was the kind of town where doors were left unlocked, where people greeted each other by name at the gas station, and where nothing truly sinister ever happened, or so everyone believed. Grace Holloway was a beloved figure in the town, a 34-year-old ER nurse at Willow Creek General, known for her kindness, quick wit, and unwavering dedication. She'd been raised here, left briefly for nursing school, then returned to care for her ailing mother and never left again. She worked long shifts, brought casseroles to grieving families, and held hands with dying patients. People didn't just like Grace, they trusted her. So when Grace failed to show up for her 6 a.m. shift on a foggy Tuesday morning in early October, people assumed something minor had gone wrong. Maybe her car had broken down. Maybe she overslept. But calls to her phone went unanswered. By noon, her sister was filing a missing person report. By sundown, the entire town was searching the woods. Grace's red Honda Civic was found 2 days later, abandoned at a rest stop 20 miles out of town, off a rarely used service road. Her purse was still in the car, her phone stuffed between the seat cushions. Dead. The car was locked. Inside, there were no signs of struggle. Her water bottle sat in the cup holder. The driver's seat was adjusted for her height. Her nurse's badge was clipped to the rearview mirror. Sheriff Bill Kramer, a veteran with 3 decades on the force, stood over the car with a furrowed brow. "If this was random," he said, "then why take her and leave everything else?" As detectives dug into Grace's life, the picture-perfect image of the selfless nurse began to fracture. First came the discovery of a second phone, hidden in her bedside drawer. On it were dozens of encrypted messages. It was a burner. No social media, no call logs, just one contact listed under the name R. The messages were flirtatious, sometimes explicit, sometimes anxious. One read, "If anyone finds out, it's over. For both of us." Then came the bank statements. Grace had been quietly withdrawing cash in increments. $500 here, $800 there, amounting to nearly $10,000 over the last 3 months. Who was R, and what was she planning? Initially, attention turned to her ex-boyfriend, Mike Delaney, a local mechanic with a temper. They'd broken up a year prior, and although friends claimed it ended amicably, Mike hadn't dated anyone since. He was brought in for questioning, but his alibi was airtight. Security footage showed him working late in his shop the night she vanished. What raised eyebrows, though, was that he hadn't even heard about the second phone. He seemed genuinely stunned. "She was private," he said, "but not like that. Grace wasn't the kind of person to sneak around." It was a curious detail from Grace's nurse supervisor that cracked the case wide open. "She'd been acting distracted the past few months," the supervisor said, "missing small things. She even mentioned wanting to move away, start over, said she needed to get out while she could. I thought she was being dramatic." A subpoena for the burner phone's metadata finally revealed the identity of R. Reverend Thomas Rowe, the 48-year-old married pastor of Willow Creek's First Baptist Church. When confronted, Reverend Rowe at first denied everything. But when shown the messages, he broke. "It started 6 months ago," he said, voice trembling. "She came to me for counseling after her mother died. It was emotional. One thing led to another, but we were going to end it. We had ended it. I swear." He claimed the last time he saw her was 3 days before she disappeared. But his wife, Miriam, told a different story. "I knew about the affair," she said. "He promised it was over. But the night Grace vanished, he was gone for 2 hours. Said he was clearing his head." A search warrant for the Rowe property uncovered a hidden room beneath the detached garage. It was soundproofed, crudely, and inside was a mattress, a bucket, and Grace's nurse uniform, neatly folded. Blood tests confirmed it had been used recently. Reverend Rowe confessed under pressure. The affair had reignited, and Grace had threatened to expose him unless he left his wife. He'd begged her to stay quiet. When she refused, he panicked. "I didn't mean to kill her," he said, sobbing. "I just wanted to scare her, to make her stop." Grace's body was found buried in a shallow grave near a hiking trail she used to frequent as a teenager. The town was stunned. Mourning gave way to confusion, betrayal, and rage. A pastor, a man they trusted with their confessions and weddings and funerals, had harbored a deadly secret and taken from them the one person who had spent her life healing others. At her memorial, the hospital staff all wore lavender scrubs, Grace's favorite color. The church bells rang once for each year of her life. Willow Creek would never be the same. The church closed. The Rowe family moved away. But every October, on the anniversary of her disappearance, candles still appear on the hospital steps, flickering through the night. Grace Holloway wasn't just a nurse. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a woman who deserved more than secrets and silence. And the town, still grieving, still healing, remembers her not for how she died, but for how fiercely she lived.